Hey, what do you say on this beautiful Wednesday today? Hey. It's your boy, Mad Max in the house. Welcome to the Russian Tea Room. Привет, товарищи. Я Максим, and we're here to talk about some football and some basketball. Thank you for being here. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to earn your viewership. Appreciate wherever you might be viewing from, whether it's Kick or Rumble or Twitch or Instagram or X, formerly Twitter, or YouTube or Facebook. I just want you to know that I do greatly appreciate you all very much. And before we get started, and I am in Studio B on the actual sofa, sectional couch, and I should probably turn my phone down, but let's do that as well. There we go. Now, let's read this real quick and we get going. Under Title 17 USC Section 107, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips. The balance in favor of fair use. Now that we've got that out of the way, I hope everybody's week's been going good so far. I actually update on the old knee here, my right knee. No new update on my left leg. Same thing. But it's what I got my stitches taken out yesterday. That's a plus. And start physical therapy, which ought to be interesting since it's going to be on my right leg only starting Friday, God willing. So, knock on wood, knock on something, right? Anyway, so let's get into it here real quick. Let's look at the basketball games. I know the Suns, I believe, are playing the Thunder, and then we got the Lakers and the Spurs later on, about an hour. And right now, what do we got here? Looks like we got the Thunder up by, almost 40 points. Close enough. 58-91, third quarter, 6:01 left to play in that. And then tonight, 9 p.m., the Spurs travel to Los Angeles to take on Luka and the Lakers, which, if you look at the standings in the Western Conference, it's so tight at 17-6. They can't afford to lose because they could easily drop into potentially fifth, sixth place very simply just by losing the game, just because that 2 through 5 is so tight. And then don't forget about Minnesota and the surprising Suns thus far in the West. Another surprise in the West, maybe to some, but not to everybody. The Clippers, the Kings, bottom feeders, along with the Pelicans. The Jazz and the Mavericks are trying to figure out what's going on with their season. The Trailblazers, right about where you thought they would be. The Grizzlies are underperforming and underwhelming at the moment, but also not unexpected. And the Warriors may be showing their age a little bit, maybe showing a little bit of chips and kinks in the armor to where they need to improve. But all in all, going from a quarter of the season in the books right now, the front runner, the best looking team in either conference has been the Thunder. Surprisingly, the Lakers have looked very good. Luka and Austin Reeves have been exceptional. DeAndre Ayton, he has not been overwhelming, but, he's not underwhelmed either. I think they've got a good chemistry going on. the NBA right now, to me, it's got just so much drama, and it's like a soap opera. It's like WWE. There's just so much stories and just things going on in the background and this and that. Just play basketball. Just play ball. That's it. And then you look in the Eastern Conference, the Pistons, Knicks, and then this guy Celtics right here doing good. We've got every team up until the top 9 teams. Then we get to the Bucks, and then 10 and 15, very underwhelming. But there again, you got Giannis and drama, like it's a soap opera. That's not what you want. But the Celtics, right about where I thought they'd be. I thought they'd be able to play well together as a team and be very much a cohesive unit that is able to win games. And they've been proving it thus far. Right now, they're on a 5-game winning streak, 8-2 out of the last 10. Pistons really surprising everybody. Duran on that team has been both the sword and the shield, if you will. He's really been able to be the big difference maker. Cunningham shown why he was picked when he was picked at that first number 1 spot, and they're a fun team to watch. The Knicks, right about where you expected them to be. Enormous amount of talent. The Magic, kind of middle of the pack. Raptors, surprising team. Philadelphia has been surprising. Cleveland, underwhelming. Miami, they're there. And the Hawks, I thought the Hawks would do a little bit better. But if you look at how tight this race is, all these teams from the Celtics at 3 to the Hawks at 9 are all within a game to 2 of flipping everything around. So right now, there's just a lot going on, and things are going to pan out. It's going to be an interesting season. I just want to see it without all the drama. Just play basketball. Just play ball. That's it. And right now, update, third quarter, 5:18 left. Thunder up 94-58. At this pace, you're looking at a game to where you can potentially see the Thunder at 138 to 140 points. So, and surprisingly, but maybe a little bit not surprising to some, the Suns obviously are hurting right now, and it shows. The nightcap game, like I said, Spurs-Lakers ought to be interesting. And then tomorrow we got Trailblazers, Pelicans, Clippers, Rockets, Celtics going to Cream City to face the Bucks, and Nuggets and the Kings. And now that we've got the NBA taken care of and up to date, let's switch things up. And we go here. Sorry, I missed comments. Put them up on the screen because I can't even see. Many viewers. It's wonderful. That's great. Hey, thank you. Appreciate it. You know what? If you really want to show me the love, brother, you know what? Just subscribe. That's it. And tune in. That's all I can ever ask of anybody. And I appreciate everybody. And where was I? Thank you for the comments, Franklin, and you have to excuse me because I can see poorly. Pervasive use, I believe is what that says. So thank you both. Kick, always good to comment and jump in. Twitch, always there consistently. YouTube, on and off, more involved in shorts, but this is the format I'm comfortable with, so we're going to just stick to it. And let me add another one here. Share screen. Let's get into the games. I know, first thing you want to ask me, how did we do last week, Max? Well, we went 9-7. Almost 10-6, but we went 9-7. Still, 10.5 games per week won. And if I round it up, we're still at 11. We've not had a losing week. Some weeks are better than others. What do you mean to say? No one's perfect. And like I said, I'm not encouraging anybody by any means to gamble, nothing like that. I don't, I make these picks for fun. It's just something I do, and it's a good way to interact with individuals that enjoy sports. And if you've tuned in enough to the show, then you know that I talk about multiple things, or I talk about multiple things when I feel like it. In this case, Wednesdays, I've been pretty consistent about just sticking with sports. Hello, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. And let's get into the first game tomorrow night. It's going to be on Prime. That's going to be at, what is that? 7:15. That's Central Time. Atlanta, Tampa Bay. Atlanta, I don't see, I believe they are officially eliminated from postseason contention in, excuse me, on any capacity. And then Tampa Bay needs to win. Tampa Bay favored 4.5. Over under is 44. Money line's probably going to be going with Tampa Bay. I like the Bucks. I like the Bucks. I think they have a lot more potential. They've been dealing with injuries, but they've been having more success with dealing with injuries than some teams, like my Chiefs, which we'll get to later. Next game, we got Houston and Arizona. Houston, they did a great job, that defense, spearheaded by Will Anderson Jr. and company, have made a huge difference, rated number 1 throughout the entire league in points allowed, yards allowed, and points scored, and they beat the Chiefs 20-10. I'm not making any excuses, but I will say that Kansas City does shoot themselves in the foot, and that has been a huge reason why we haven't been as successful as we could have, should have, would have been. I'm not making excuses, just saying you got a team that went from 15 wins last season to maybe at most getting 10 wins, and that's if they win all out and get help from other teams. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, Arizona's been real streaky. At times they look good, other times they look bad. I think that winning, like many other things, are contagious. In this case, Houston is a 9.5 point favorite. The over/under is 42.5, and I can guarantee the money's going with Houston on the money line. I like Houston. I think that they've been doing great. C.J. Stroud, since he's been back, has been doing a wonderful job, and I expect that to not change. So, Texans, good job, Houston, last week. Not a hater. Not a hater. Next, we have the Jets going to Jacksonville, Duval County, to face the Jaguars, 9-4. Now, the Jets have potential. However, at this point in time, I think they're playing for pride and for their coach. Jacksonville's looked good. Trevor Lawrence has been very surprising. I think that they have the potential to obviously not only make the playoffs, but to potentially make it a potential run deeper than just the first round. So we'll see. Jacksonville's the 13.5 point favorite in this game. Over under is 41.5. I guarantee you the money line is going on the Jags, and we're not making the same mistake we made last week in picking the Jets. This is not going to be one of those games that's a trap game. The Jags are going to win. Duval County's going to have something to celebrate for yet again. Next game, we got the Raiders going to the city of brotherly love to face the Eagles. Philly's an 11.5 point favorite. 38 is the over under. This game's going to be on Fox. Still an early game. Raiders have been horrible. There's no other way to put it. You can blame the offense, you can blame the defense, you can blame coaching, you can blame a lot of different things, but it doesn't matter. This season is done for. Right now, you're evaluating talent and looking forward to next season. Philly needs to step up. Otherwise, they're in jeopardy of either being a very low seed or potentially not making the playoffs. So they really, really need to get their act together. I believe that Philly has what it takes to beat the Raiders. They're going to be at home. They're going to be at Lincoln Financial Field. I like the Philadelphia Eagles. I didn't mean to snark my words. I apologize. But I believe that Philadelphia has got what it takes to win, and that's why we're picking the Fly, Eagles, fly. Next up, we have the Redskins and the Giants of New York against one another. This is going to be in New York. Washington and New York are both horrible. New York's favored by 2.5. The over-under is 447 points. Two terrible teams with a lot of issues may just make that happen. I'd still go with the money line and take New York, which is exactly what we're going to do. They have potential. I'm not saying that the Redskins don't, or the Commies, whatever you want to call them. But in this case, I feel that New York is going to best the Redskins. So, Giants it is. Neither one of these teams are going to the playoffs, by the way. All right, next game, we've got Buffalo going to first place, New England, the Mike Vrabel resurrected Patriots. Now, the Bills are a 1 point favorite. The over-under is 49.5, so they expect this to be a high-scoring game, a real duel, if you will. Now, Buffalo is going to have their hands full because going in to Gillette Stadium or Foxborough, whatever you want to call it, makes no difference. We're talking about the same place. It's not going to be an easy place to win. It's a very well-coached team by Mike Vrabel. I think they probably have the greatest quarterback to ever come out of North Carolina. I can't believe I'm saying it. Drake May has proved me wrong. I love New England. I love Coach Vrabel. Buffalo, I think they're going to have a hard time in this particular game. And I feel that, I'll be honest with you, I feel that we're going to see Buffalo lose this game. I really do. I really, really do. And that is exactly why we're going to go with New England, the Patriots. And I do post all the picks afterwards on the community posts on the Facebook, or on the Facebook, on YouTube. I apologize. Medication, I'm a little bit parched. Let me take a drink. Also, if you read the ticker, go to those places, use those codes, save some money. Excuse me. Oops. I can unplug this. I don't know why I've got it plugged in. Anyway, next game, I read the Pats? Yes, I did. All right. Next game, we've got the Chiefs and the Chargers. Chiefs 5.5 point favorite. The over/under is 41.5. This is going to be one of the last noon games. The Chargers need a win in order to stay close enough to Denver to potentially win out on that end of AFC West. The Chiefs have no chance of winning the AFC West, and though not impossible, highly improbable that they will win enough. Even if they win out, end up 10-7, them making the playoffs is going to require a lot of help. So let's see what happens. I've got the Chiefs in this one. I believe it's going to be a hard-fought game. I think that it's time to it's time for action. Enough words, enough interviews, enough scrutiny. Just win. Just get out there, do your job, win the game. Excuse me. Let me write this down. I think it'll be a great game. I really do. I think that Monday night's game, I'll be honest, I didn't watch it. I don't remember why. My memory is just not what it used to be. But you go a few years on little to no sleep while dealing with pain and not taking pain medication and using alternative forms of prescribed medication by a medical professional, you start to get a little bit, I don't know, things just aren't as clear all the time. Then you get enough medications that you do take that are necessary when everything has a side effect, no matter what it is. And side effects on top of side effects. I'm not making excuses. I just want to apologize. I make sure we're all on the same page. All right. Where were we? We just picked the Chiefs again. And they got to win out. And here's the thing about Kansas City. They realize that you don't leave points and try to go in and go all in, rather, on a fourth down. Don't leave points. Don't leave anything on the field. Take the points, especially when you know it's going to be a close game and a tough game and they've been playing you tough. Take the points. Could have changed a lot of the dynamic of the game. Yeah, you can make excuses and take accountability, et cetera, et cetera. That's great, but it doesn't change the fact that a loss is a loss and it's not going to help you in this case. So where I stand when it comes to this is very simple. You have to play smart football. Offense, defense, special teams, and coaching. Everybody has to do their job perfect to a T. You have zero room for error, and you have to have a lot of help from a lot of other teams. So we'll see what happens. Kansas City didn't do themselves any favors by not playing their best football. And the problem with that is now they're on the outside looking in, needing help. And, I believe it's a 16% chance, not impossible, just highly improbable, that they do make playoffs. But we'll see what happens. All right, moving right along. I apologize. I didn't mean to get on the long spiel. Sorry about that. Next, we got Baltimore going to Cincinnati and Joe Coolborough. Baltimore 2.5 point favorite. 51.5 points is the over/under. If I were to guess, even though Baltimore, excuse me, Cincinnati had every chance to win that game, and they very well could have. I don't have an excuse for Cincinnati. All I can tell you is Joe Burrow's a quarterback that is exceptionally talented, though the chances of them making the playoffs are highly unlikely. I believe in this case, they are one of the few teams in the division that only has one team with a winning record, that being Pittsburgh. So, listen, right now, you've got Denver and New England in the AFC as the two top dogs with the best records. And you've got Baltimore and Cincinnati just playing for pride. You get Joe Burrow back. Okay, you're 4-9. I believe you're potentially eliminated. I had to double check that. And Baltimore, you're right on the cusp of elimination. So the only way is to continue to win and hope that Pittsburgh loses. So what we need right now, in this case, is it in your best interest, knowing that you are 4-9, you get Joe Cool back. He didn't win the last game. Do you risk putting him back out there and hoping and praying for a miracle? Or are you already eliminated? Either way, I don't think it matters. Whether you put in Joe Burrow or Joe Flacco, there's going to be a guy named Joe playing. Baltimore has got a whole lot more to play for, but Baltimore has also been playing so poorly, even with the amount of talent they have, whether it be Flowers, Henry, Addison, Lamar, Jackson, whether it's Andrews. I mean, there's just, it's crazy to me to think that they've had such a hard time lately. But I understand. It happens. Excuse me. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to pick the Ravens. I think that they still believe they have a shot as opposed to Cincinnati, which, like I said, you got 4 games left. You're 3 games behind Pittsburgh. If you lose any games, whether you are still in a position to be in the playoffs, it's hard to say. But I will say this. It's going to be a good game. But we are going to go ahead and go with Baltimore on that one. Next, let's go with the final afternoon game. The Browns going to Chicago to face the Bears. Chicago 7.5 point favorite. Over under 39. I can guarantee the money line. The wise guys are putting the money on the Bears. And you know what? Without having to explain a whole lot, having to rely anymore on the defense to win games for you if you're the Browns is not going to cut it. Shador's been doing his best. He probably should have started out the season as the guy, but regardless, I think they have a bright future. Yes, the Browns. Yes, the Browns. If they continue to be patient and develop Shador and are able to surround him with individuals that want to win and want to compete, then they will be successful in the future. But this week, the Bears are 7.5 point favorites. Over under is 39 points. This one's on Fox. Last of the noon games, like I said, we're going with the Bears on this one. I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a lot closer than what people are thinking. I think that Shador, I really like Shador. He seems like a really humble, intelligent. He seems like a fine young man. Good job, Dion. Next, Indianapolis going to Seattle to face the Seahawks. And another USC quarterback, not unlike Caleb Williams, that's really surprised me. Not just with Seattle, but he did so with the Vikings. He did so with the 49ers, and I'm referring to Aaron Darnold. Sorry, Donald. Sorry. Sorry. Anyway, Indy must win situation. Philip Rivers is now their quarterback. They resurrected him at 44, 45 years old, something like that. 516 children, but he's gonna see what he can do. Seattle 13.5 point favorite, over under is 42.5. Now, Indy is not a bad team. They just haven't been playing well. I personally need to see them lose. I also need to see Houston lose and not have a record. I can't see that. In order for the Chiefs to make the playoffs, Houston, which we did not win against, and Jacksonville, which we also fell apart in the end and lost against you. Indy, we did beat. So Houston needs to lose. Jacksonville needs to lose. And Indianapolis needs to lose. All these teams need to lose in the AFC South to give Kansas City a chance. Could it happen? Maybe. And then the AFC West, we play basically everybody. We play the Chargers, we play the Broncos, and we play the Raiders all over again. So it starts again this week. It's 0-0. Right now we're 0-0, 0-0. 4 games to go. And who we play? The Chargers, the Broncos, the Raiders, Chargers, Broncos, Raiders, and Titans. So we'll see what happens. But didn't mean to get off on that tangent. Really like you, SC Aaron Darnold. I am so sorry I keep doing that. Philip Rivers, I'm not saying that he's not a good quarterback. He's one of the better quarterbacks that I've seen play, even though it might not have translated to the championships or a lot of playoff postseason success. Doesn't mean he's not a great quarterback, and it'll go down that way and remember that way. But I really believe that Seattle is going to win this game. I think it's going to be a lot closer than what the wise guys think here, what the odds makers are thinking, and that's okay because we need Indy to lose because that's a potential spot that we can grab. We just need Houston to also lose the next 3 games out of 4. Can it be done? Sure. And we need Indy to lose the next 2 out of 4. So this is a step in the right direction because we've got the tiebreaker against Indianapolis. We don't against Jacksonville, but I don't see Jacksonville losing the next 4 games. And even if they did lose the next 4 games, they could still potentially be the division champion, and they have the tiebreaker against us, so it really wouldn't matter. But we'll keep an eye on that South a little bit closer. Pittsburgh-wise, that's a weird division right now, but we'll get into that the closer it gets to the playoffs. The more difficult it gets to predict things, which is just the God honest truth. It's fact. Anyway, Seahawks it is. Seahawks, Seattle. Sorry, I can't see or write real well right now. And moving right along, we got Tennessee going to San Fran. The San Fran 12.5 point favorite, 44.5 is the over under. This one's on Fox. Late game. I like to tell you that Tennessee is going to put on a good show At this point, I think they're just evaluating talent, try to keep people healthy and look towards next season, but also be competitive and do their best to win games and at least be relevant in staying in games. So Tennessee has a bright future. They've got an interim coach. It hasn't been the season that anybody looked forward to. It's been disappointing. I understand. And San Francisco's been doing a lot better than a lot of people anticipated. I'll be honest. Mac Jones stepped up when it was necessary in place of Brock Purdy, and I think that they can go somewhere in the playoffs. Even with all the injuries that they've got, they are still right there. So, San Fran, it is. Next game, we've got Carolina and New Orleans. New Orleans, they've won. Don't ask me how, but they have won. I don't know that that is going to happen this week, though. Carolina is a 2.5 point favorite. The over under is 40.5, 40.5 points. This game, Fox, late game, it's in the dome. I like Carolina. I have nothing but good things to say about that team every week, regardless of who they play. Bryce Young is proving that he deserved to be the first pick overall, and here's why. So let him cook. He continues to get better every game, every snap. Carolina is still right there in the thick of things, playoff wise, and I don't believe that New Orleans is ready to throw in the towel. They've got that young man that they put in a quarterback, and his name slips my mind, but he's looked good. Now, do they have what it takes to win this game? I don't know. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be real close when it comes to the favorite. I like that. The over under, I don't know about, but the money line, I would go with Carolina, and that's exactly what we're doing. All right, Detroit, Los Angeles. Going to be a good game. Going to be a real good game. And we got the Rams, 5.5 point favorite. The over under is 55.5 points. It's either going to be a shootout or a blowout, like a newborn in a diaper. It isn't a good brand or put on properly. Either way, this is going to be a good game. It's going to be the quarterbacks that played for the opposite franchise at one point in time. So it should be fun to watch. I know it'll be fun to watch. And I'm looking forward to it as well. Detroit, I like everything about him. Dan Campbell proved that he knows how to win, but he's going up against a coach that is going to go down as one of the greatest coaches ever. Heed my words now. We're taking the Rams in this one, but it's going to be a close game. Whether it's a shootout or not, I don't know. But I believe it's going to be a close game. I don't see the 55.5 points. I think it's going to be a close game. They're both very good teams, very talented, and I'm looking forward to it. But I think the Rams are going to take care of business and do what it takes. Next, we have the Packers and the Broncos. Broncos are on a hot streak, 11-2, and they won their last 9 games, I believe. They've been on fire. Green Bay's favored by 2.5. 42.5 is the over-under. As much as I would love to see Green Bay win this game, I don't think that they will. Denver, Sean Payton, Bo Nix, and company have figured out a way to not only win games, but do so convincingly. They've won the close games, and they've proven that they deserve to be right there in that top spot in that AFC. So it's going to be a close game. I love Green Bay. They've got a great record. They've got that one tie with Dallas. And this case, as much as it pains me, I think the Broncos are going to go ahead and get this one. So Broncos it is. Moving right along. Next game, we have Minnesota and Dallas. Dallas is 6-point favorite. This is the Sunday night matchup. Over-under is 47.5. And, yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. I feel pretty good about Dallas in this. I know. Not something that I normally do, but something that I feel is probably going to happen. And that is Dallas win a game at home and make Jerry happy. I think everything looks pretty good on here. I think the Dallas is able to put up the points, and I think Minnesota can put up a few points. But, I'm not sold on Minnesota. They got a lot that they need to do. They got a lot of work ahead of them. They got inconsistency, just hasn't been their year. And I don't want to make any excuses for them, but the largest ball of twine in Minnesota. Not this week. Cowboys. Yep, I know. Cardinal rule, right? No, I'm just being honest. About the only time that I don't, the Chiefs. Is that right? Is that wrong? I don't know. But that's my one exception. Monday night game. Huge game here. Big game. Real big game. Now, Pittsburgh is favored by 3.5. We've got Miami going in to Heinz Field, or whatever the hell it's called nowadays. In Pittsburgh, first place. Miami, been real streaky. Pittsburgh's favored by 3.5. The over-under is 42. As far as we know, this game is going to be broadcast Monday night. I'll be honest with you. I think Pittsburgh has every chance to win this game. I think Miami has the potential to win this game. I don't think it's going to be a 42-point game. I don't see that. But I do see Pittsburgh winning. Miami's going to fight hard because they're on the outside looking in, right there along with Kansas City in a division that, in a conference that's so close right now and so complex with its tiebreakers that, you just have to wait and see what happens. So I'm going to have to go with the Steelers on this one. I think it's going to be a good game, but Steelers ultimately, I feel, are gonna win this game. All right, let me back out of this here and make sure whoever you are on Twitch, I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody. Thank you. I think that you always consistently tune in and watch, and I really do appreciate that. Is that you, Twirly? What's up? Yeah, man, I remember you, bro. I remember you. I remember you, Twirl. Got no beef with you. Good guy. Or gal. I don't know. Never met in person. Not sure. But let's recap one more time. We'll take that off. And let's do... Nope. Nope. Hold on. Nope. There we go. There we go. All right. So we've got the Bucks, the Texans, the Jags, the Eagles, the Giants, the Patriots, the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Bears, the Seahawks, the 49ers, the Panthers, the Rams, the Broncos, the Cowboys, and the Steelers. And that is Max's weekly winners. Yeah. And I see that, yeah, I had to check something. I just noticed something. Anyway, so that's all for right now. I'm going to cut up some shorts. Twirl, if you're watching, appreciate you. And other than that, real quick, to all those anti-Semitic individuals out there, you might hate Jews and Israel, but you love Desert Eagles, you love Uzis, you love Galilas, you love Tavors, right? I'm just saying. Anyway, this is Mad Max. This is the So Fucking Great variety show in the Russian Tea Room. Thank you for being the best part of every day that ends in Y. I appreciate your viewership and the opportunity to earn it. Until the next one, and we meet again. Shabbat Shalom.